Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Coming up tonight on Our News, what's next for the current state of emergency? The Prime Minister revealing few details today. A local business says it's now seeking to hire fully vaccinated workers. What you need to know. The groundbreaking for the Exuma International Airport signals upgrades are on the way. And our Bethany McDermott tells us how to shower mom with love without breaking the bank. Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. Topping news tonight, the Minnis administration still has not made a decision on whether another state of emergency will be declared. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, who tells reporters the details are still being worked out, despite the current state of emergency set to expire in a few weeks. Jasmine Brown reports.
The Prime Minister made one thing clear today, and that's the fact that there is still no verdict on whether the state of emergency will be extended later this month.
I couldn't say at this point in time. We've been watching the statistics, watching the hospitalization, watching the response of the public. Our main objective and goal moving forward is to ensure that we come out of what we're going through as quickly as possible. So I would discuss with physicians, hear their views, and after which discuss with my colleagues, and then come up with a final determination which is best for the nation.
The current state of emergency introduced by the Minnis administration to curb the spread of COVID-19 is set to expire on May 23rd. Last month, Attorney General Carl Bethel said the government has not yet determined whether a new state of emergency will be declared in the Bahamas or if it will introduce a bill to replace the emergency order. When the Prime Minister was asked about the possibility of legislative framework being introduced instead of a state of emergency, he said this.
We have been working on a new legislative framework, but I don't know the direction we would take at this particular point in time. Whichever direction we would take a direction that is best for the Bahamas and best for the Bahamian population.
Do you have any idea when you guys will know? Because May 23rd is basically right around the corner.
I know.
The declaration of a new state of emergency would give the competent authority the ability to have up to another 6 months of emergency powers. In February, the AG said his office was nearly finished drafting a bill that would replace the emergency order.
Those are matters I consult the medical professionals. Like when we extended Grand Bahama, it was the professional's opinion that yes, Grand Bahama has turned and we can extend it. Then we also extended, I think, Abaco. It was the professional's opinion that yes, you can extend, lift the curfew, and we'll continue to monitor the situation. So we look at all the islands individually and make determination.
The Bahamas has been in a state of emergency since March 2020, days after the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed in the Bahamas. Just over 10,000 cases have been confirmed since then. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, Fusion Superplex looking for fully vaccinated employees as it prepares to reintroduce indoor dining at its establishment. Kyle Joaquin has more.
We are encouraging persons who have been vaccinated or who intend to receive the vaccination voluntarily to come and work with us as we relaunch our altitude indoor dining experience.
You can expect to see this becoming the norm for indoor dining across the country. Be fully vaccinated to sit and eat or drink on the inside. Over at Fusion Superplex, the goal of reopening its altitude restaurant with indoor dining by early June has prompted a call for fully vaccinated employees only.
We're doing a lot of renovations and making sure that we get the space impeccable and ready for our guests. But it has to be done as soon as we can in alignment with the COVID vaccination requirements. And so as soon as persons are able to get that second dose and have their COVID certifications, we'd be happy to onboard and launch the restaurant.
Back in March, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis said people who are fully vaccinated will be allowed to dine indoors. Sherman says because those in the industry have been closed for so long, many of Altitude's employees went on to find other jobs. And now 30 positions are up for grabs.
Well, in order to open indoor dining, the requirements are that persons be vaccinated. So there's no option. If you wish to work as a part of our indoor dining team, you would have to meet the eligibility requirements. And so that is something that's going to be viewed as a requirement when we're going through the screening process for candidates.
Fusion currently has 200 employees back to work and several others still on furlough. She says several employees have already gotten their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine as the Superplex continues movie showings and outdoor dining. Sherman stressed that to date, no employee has been forced to get vaccinated.
Fusion is encouraging people to get information to make an informed decision that works for them. I'm not a medical practitioner. I have no expertise, and neither does anyone on my team. And so what we've been doing is providing resources, providing information, engaging in conversations about what it means to be vaccinated for you and your family, and making the best decision for you.
For Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Officials breaking ground and signing a contract for the $65 million project on Exuma that will lead to the redevelopment of the Exuma International Airport. Tourism Minister Dionisio de Aguilar revealing Wolseley Construction Bahamas was chosen as the contractor for a project that will increase the airport's terminal from the present 2,000 square feet to some 60,000 square feet.
Everyone in Exuma has been hearing about the coming of this new airport for probably 6 years now. And I can say, and all I can say is that at an airport of this magnitude and on this scale is a very complicated piece of infrastructure. We first had to hire consultants to project into the future the amount of traffic, both passengers and aircraft, that would be using this airport. We did not want to build an airport which after a few short years would prove to be too small.
De Aguilar was among several government ministers attending the event. Also there was Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, who insists Exuma is on the verge of expanding and the airport will make that happen.
Recovery, and believe me, it is bright. When we get your airport, Exuma is going to take off big, magnifico times.
Well, storm clouds move in over the capital. Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with the latest.
Thanks, Christina, and a good Friday evening, Bahamas. We have some activity moving across the area. We'll see that in our satellite picture, but outside our studios, we're calling it partly cloudy skies, some showers around 77 degrees, and those temperatures continuing to fall with that rainfall we had earlier. Southwest winds at 5 knots, those winds are starting to swing around towards the west. Satellite view, prefrontal trough with some showers and thunderstorms pushing into the northwest Bahamas. The actual front is still across the Grand Bahama area. That front boundary will continue to progress towards the south. Showers and thunderstorms expected throughout the rest of the evening. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
And still to come on our news, why United Nations human rights experts are petitioning government to halt Shantytown demolition. Our Jillian Gray gets up close with Grand Bahama's medical professionals, plus a Bahamian twist on traditional Mother's Day gifts. That's coming up when our news returns.
Join us with your family for this season's bonus episode of Gourmet Kids. We had so much great footage, we had to make another episode out of it. With special guests, Bo Flex Barbie, and a Bahamian storyteller, Portia Sands. We make Bahamian peas and rice, and we go sailing with our friends in Eleuthera, and more. You don't want to miss it. Check your local listings. Gourmet Kids!
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits, venture into unknown territory, take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV, cable channel 212, and streaming live on Facebook.
United Nations human rights experts are calling on the Bahamas government to halt the demolition of 600 homes in the farm Shantytown on Abaco. According to the statement issued by the UN Human Rights Office of the High Commissioner, the planned forced evictions and demolitions constitute a serious violation of the human right to adequate housing and will result in arbitrary internal displacement. To make things worse, the statement continues, this is scheduled to occur during the pandemic, threatening to expose an already vulnerable minority to all kinds of risks for their health and safety. The statement notes that most of the people affected by the demolition have nowhere else to go. Now, the human rights experts are urging the government to review its migration policy, which includes the widespread use of detention and expulsion of migrants. In 2018, government announced that all shantytowns in the Bahamas would be demolished. Residents in Abaco were given until the end of July 2019. However, a 2018 injunction was granted by Supreme Court Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson, preventing the demolition of shantytowns. The government began demolishing unoccupied or incomplete structures in the farm on April 22nd, claiming that those structures were in breach of the injunction, preventing the construction of a new shantytown in the Bahamas. Fred Smith QC is representing the shantytown residents in a judicial review, urging government to halt demolition in Abaco until that matter is wrapped up in the Supreme Court. The judicial review is expected to continue on May 21st. The UN human rights experts who penned the statement are not UN staff, rather they are independent and serve in their individual capacities, representing the right to standards of living, food, non-discrimination, and other human rights. Well, Grand Bahama medical professionals welcoming a new facility on that island, telling our news the upgrades will better help them to fight the pandemic and whatever else comes their way. Jillian Gray has that.
We are seeing an increase. I think it's more pronounced in the capital, in Nassau, but we are seeing a little sustained increase here in Grand Bahama.
As cases during the third wave of COVID-19 continue to climb, medical professionals in Grand Bahama are relieved to finally be in their new facility.
Certainly, it should provide a better state in terms of which to provide care, holistic care to our patients, because again, we have all of our patients and our diagnostics under one roof.
Having everyone at one side allow us to quickly identify any change in symptomatology, so concerns can be seen and addressed more rapidly for the patients we have here in hospital.
It's been no easy feat managing the pandemic, but hospital administrator Sharon Williams says they are doing the best they can, given the circumstances. As cases are increasing on the island, Dr. Freeman Lockhart says they are keeping an eye out for variants.
With collaboration with the Ministry of Health, that is being done to some extent.
After Monster Storm Dorian tore through the hospital, multiple sites were set up to tend to patients, presenting logistical hurdles.
With COVID, you couldn't allow persons to visit their loved ones anymore because of the potential of bringing risk into the hospital. And therefore, that brought up a lot of challenges with family members not being able to see their loved one because of the multiple sites, not being able to see the physicians and get information on a timely manner.
The hospital administrator says they are excited and relieved to finally be able to deliver better care. She thanks staff for serving even when working through tragedy.
While we were challenged with our facilities, likewise our staff would have been challenged at home in their personal space. As usual, we have to give up the personal and do what we have to make sure we provide health care to the community of Grand Bahama.
Reporting for our news from Grand Bahama, I'm Jillian Gray.
Well, a man is in serious condition today after being stabbed multiple times about the body early this morning. Grand Bahama police say the man reported that he was attacked from behind by another man he described as standing about 5 feet 9 inches tall with brown complexion shortly after 7 a.m. Police say the man was found lying on the side of the East Sunrise Highway. He's being treated at the Rand Memorial Hospital. And fire victims who've lost their essential documents in Sunday's blaze and Monday's structural fire are being urged to make police reports as soon as possible. Police Press Liaison Officer ASP Audley Peters says officers are ready to help residents.
We want to encourage persons who are affected by these fires, in particular the one at Jenny Street, to go to the Roadford Police Station and make a report there so that they would be assisted in the quickest possible time. And the folks who are affected at Fritz Lane and 7 Terrace, they can go to the Sutton Police Station and make their report there, and the officers there would assist them in a timely manner.
Dozens of people were left homeless as a result of fires in the past week. When our news comes back from the break, Miss Bahama's Universe heads to Miami for the big pageant night. And still wondering what to get Mom? Our Bethany McDermott has a few tips. Plus, another Bahamian heads to the big leagues. Marcellus Hall tells us who when our news returns.
Join us with your family for this season's bonus episode of Gourmet Kids. We had so much great footage, we had to make another episode out of it. With special guests, Bo Flex Barbie, and a Bahamian storyteller, Portia Sands. We make Bahamian peas and rice, and we go sailing with our friends in Eleuthera, and more. You don't want to miss it. Check your local listings. Gourmet Kids!
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits, venture into unknown territory, take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV, cable channel 212, and streaming live on Facebook.
This is our news. Welcome back. For those of you who may still be wondering what to get Mommy this Mother's Day, our Bethany McDermott is here to help with Mother's Day treats at affordable prices.
For the second consecutive year, Mother's Day celebrations will be far from ordinary. But despite all that's going on, you can still surprise your mother with a gift from the heart at a price that won't hurt your pocket. So if you're looking for something locally made, then Leah Michelle Bahamian Boutique is one stop you can make. From jewelry to facial products, the store located in the Cable Beach Plaza offers a Bahamian twist on luxury.
We have quality, all Bahamian, authentically products. We have this program called Build a Basket, where you can come into the store, browse our offerings, and then you can curate a basket specially for your mom. And
as many are still grappling with the hardship from the global pandemic, Danes offer stylish items and affordable prices starting at $20.
You can actually get a gift set, 2 for $20. So you can get a earring, ring, bracelet, any 2 for $20. You can also add in a hand sanitizer, maybe with an earring for mom for $20. I think that is something that you cannot beat. It's, again, quality products, all locally handmade by myself.
But if you're looking for something a little different, then the Perfume Paradise on East Street has a selection for you.
What we're offering this Mother's Day is Mother's Day baskets starting at $75. You get something like this. With the baskets, we leave the options open, so you could come in and select whatever fragrance you want your mother to wear or whatever you think your mother may like.
Gift set starts as low as $35. They even have options for children looking to get a special gift.
For the little kids who just want to get something for their mom and nice little reasonable gifts, we have little reasonable pockets like these. You could get something like that. How much is something like that for the kids now? You could get something like this for about $20.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Bethany McDermott.
While another young Bahamian joins the professional baseball ranks, meanwhile, Kevin Major Jr. off to Germany to play pro tennis. Marcellus Hall tells us more.
Thanks a lot and welcome to our Sports on a Friday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. The young man you're seeing behind me has now become one of a growing list of Bahamians who have now joined the ranks of professional baseball. His name, Christian Monroe. Let's tell you some more. 16-year-old Christian Monroe earning his way to joining the professional ranks as a California, or rather Anaheim Angel. This happening just yesterday as he made it official. The young fella out of I-Elite Academy becomes the third Bahamian to now join the Angels organization. He says it's a dream come true. Big moment for you, man. Talk about how exciting this must be for you as you now start your professional career.
This moment is unreal. I've been thinking about this moment for all my life now, but being up here right now, I can't imagine it.
What is your first thought as you now sign this professional career, this pro contract, and what is your first thought? What do you think you need to do now in order to take that next step?
I just need to keep playing the baseball game, how I'm playing it, how I've been playing it all my life, and just take it to the next level.
Are you confident now that you'll be able to get what you need to do?
Super confident.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we certainly wish Christian all the best moving forward. I know he's going to do well in his professional career. And speaking of professional careers, another Bahamian also moving forward with joining professional ranks. His name, Kevin Major Jr., now headed to Germany as he signed a deal yesterday to head on over there to play at the Bundesliga Division III segment. He's looking forward to making some good things happen. The 26-year-old also a part of the Bahamas Davis Cup team where he'll be heading into competition with them in short order. But right now, Kevin Major Jr. excited about being able to play in Germany as a professional, looking to make his mark on being the next Bahamian to top that circuit. And that's your check on sports for you here on this Friday. I'm Marcellus Hall. You guys have a great weekend. Back to you.
Thanks, Marcellus. Well, what does the weekend have in store for us? Greg is back in the Weather Center with the answer. And Miss Bahamas Universe is off to Miami to compete for the next Miss Universe crown next week. Our news caught up with the Queen. That story straight ahead when our news returns.
Join us with your family for this season's bonus episode of Gourmet Kids. We had so much great footage, we had to make another episode out of it. With special guests, Bo Flex Barbie, and a Bahamian storyteller, Portia Sands. We make Bahamian peas and rice, and we go sailing with our friends in Eleuthera, and more. You don't want to miss it. Check your local listings. Gourmet Kids!
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits, venture into unknown territory, take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV, cable channel 212, and streaming live on Facebook.
Welcome back to our news. Possible thunderstorms ahead this weekend. Greg is back in the Weather Center with the details.
Thanks again, Christina, and a good Friday evening, everybody. We have some showers and thunderstorms moving across the northwest Bahamas, all associated with the frontal boundary that is pushing throughout the northwest Bahamas, prompting the Department of Meteorology to issue some severe thunderstorms warnings early today for Abaco, the Berry Islands, as well as Grand Bahama. Those showers and thunderstorms will continue to push towards the south. And behind that, we have a nice dry air mass that's going to be moving into the northwest Bahamas, with some showers still occurring across the central Bahamas as that front boundary is expected to stall across that area later tonight. Boating forecast for the northwest Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Your winds will be shifting towards the north and become northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. While in the central and southeast Bahamas, we expect those winds to be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Tide is presently high, will be low after midnight. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your extended forecast through Wednesday. Some well-needed showers expected out of this front. That's a look at your weather. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Greg. Well, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the biggest shows in the world, the Miss Universe pageant, will still go on. Today, the reigning queen, Shantae Miller, heads off to Miami in the hopes of being crowned the next Miss Universe. Today, representatives of the Miss Bahamas Universe organization and Bahamas Air wished Miller good luck for the big night.
On behalf of Bahamas Air and our marketing department, we are delighted to be on this journey with you, Shantae. We will be rooting for you. We are so appreciative of you. We love you and know that you have the Bahamas' full support of you.
After countless hours of training and preparation for the big night, Miller has already set some high standards for herself.
Honestly, I am really expecting to hear Top 21, the Bahamas name calling Top 21. I prepared extremely hard for this competition, and it's here. The moment is here. So I'm expecting to hear the Bahamas name called in the Top 21 position, and it's just to keep elevating throughout the remainder of the night.
And she gives some advice to all future queens out there who dream of one day wearing the crown.
It was once my vision a long time ago to be Miss Bahamas Universe, and here I am sitting today as Miss Bahamas Universe. So to keep the faith, if they're pursuing to become a Miss Bahamas someday, keep the faith and just go at it wholeheartedly, and in the end you will be successful.
She competes along with dozens of other queens from around the world on stage on May 16th. Well, thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Christina Dragovich. Have a beautiful evening, Bahamas. A new episode of For the Love of Music starts right now.